Oh,
No,
those puppies had it coming.
Oh, look, we're live.
We're live. Ladies and
coming.
gentlemen, welcome back to Nelforge, the West Road Gateway. Last session, they wrapped up a little bit of an intrigue or adventure or something. We talked about that. The Duke didn't really, the Count really didn't have much of a contract with you, or at least nothing that he was going to honor before disaster occurred. So a different disaster occurred. He's now out of the picture, or at least he really should be.
Very out of the
So
picture.
we hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of got what he deserved, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to spin it any other way other than unless you're really serious about, I don't care what a person does, they don't deserve to lose their soul. Like, unless that's your philosophy, it's like he kind of knew what he was getting into, and
it did kind
I've always been the opinion that that the devil never actually bargains for people's souls, because as soon as they're willing to do so, he's already got it.
Well,
not an inaccurate way to look at it.
Still, he's gone. His body is here, so
something cheating, honest man.
He's not coming back, at least not without raising eyebrows.
That's not all you'll have to raise.
What is the public story? Was he struck dead by some calamity, or how is that being?
Given
He simply passed away. It happens.
Yeah, in
as
the flower of his youth, in
as
his
he
best
was
years,
as he was looking to protect his wife and daughter in the Temple of Briscus
from himself with his sword.
That's really good.
Okay,
I like that story. That's how it should have been.
Let the people have their story, because that's how Candace keeps the title.
Yeah, it's for them. It's not for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's also for the people, so they don't lose. So they don't lose trust in their betters.
Well, nobility in a way. Better is a matter of perspective.
Yeah, they are called so let's roll with that.
Sometimes undeservedly.
Mm.
So I don't know. I feel like there is a way to remove him from adulation in the hearts of the people without throwing Candace's title into question. I think I would like to start. I would like to set the record in the lower parts of the city that Candace is a precious, precious angel, and that the title is absolutely valid, but her father was a terrible man. He does not deserve to be loved in his death.
He was fond of puppy omelets.
Oh, he's not going to be loved. People will soon forget. It's just the news of the week that he died, but the normal people have their own stories.
This is the other.
Look at it this way: it won't do him any good to be loved after he dies.
Yes.
Well, I mean, but my personal sense of justice means that at least to some folks, I set the record straight as to who was a good guy and who was the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, but obviously that's not going to affect Candace or the title, because
Saphir wants to be honest about that.
Saphir, it feels very strongly about personal justice and integrity, even if nobody cares but me. So yes,
they certainly don't not care.
If there's, as a bard, one thing I know is stories. I think probably we can just spin the story to make him seem just completely boring.
No one liked him.
No, he was a bad guy.
A total load.
Nobody liked him. Everybody hate him. Now he's eating worms. Oh, wait.
Everything nice. And I'm going to take a personal interest in Candace in the days to come. I want to make sure she doesn't grow up, either greedy and grasping like her father, or complacent like her mother.
Well, that's going to be an interesting bit of challenge there.
Oh, yes.
As it stands,
That's the idea.
As it stands, the mother and daughter are picking and choosing somewhat hurriedly through the things they want to save from the old household to move to the new one. Partially because they want to lighten their load before the move, and partially because there are bits of their background they probably want to forget.
Like this world's best dad mug. They're probably not going to see.
Yes, it shows up on eBay.
#1 dad. Smash.
Oops.
How clumsy of me to let gravity
#1
take a hold of
yeah,
it.
guys, you left the E out.
Oh,
Rude.
dead?
I like it, yeah.
I was like, Dade?
No, that was the game last night.
E-Worlds? E-Best? I couldn't add an E to any of those words and have it work.
So, in a little while, Candace and Julie will be moving out to Cephalaville, the home and the manor which is still just a bit under construction for them there. You also picked up a few nifty and interesting bits of stuff from under the mansion, or the under the Count's house anyway, down in the Undercity, and you have a few archaeological types going down to spelunk that.
With some defense. Because of, random old potions exploding and weird, terrible creatures that are as they should not be.
Because there isn't a whole lot of information about the creatures from those days in modern records. Nor is there much information about the ruler of the time when stuff started falling. Research does sound like something you could do in the meantime.
Barbarians love research.
Yes,
Can
let's
you
do
say
that.
Academy Circle?
Yeah. Oh, nice try. Yeah.
So,
So, is there anything in particular you want to look up in Academy Circle? I can imagine the wizard and bard being very happy to go out that way. Paladin and barbarian, maybe not so much.
Hey, I'm not a dumb guy. I like to learn things.
Okay.
I'm sure there are some old martial manuals there in the old book section that I couldn't be interested in.
Old martial texts.
Yes. Old manuals on different fighting styles that I can take back to my fellow brisketeers.
the
Brisketarians?
The brothers Briskin.
Remember, fixing the body is only part of our divine mandate. The other half is breaking it.
And knowing when to do which.
I'm sure, but I've probably already read all of those.
But in order to get proper benefit,
I'll be right back. I just remembered one other thing I forgot. Pardon me.
Actually, that question is literacy common. Do I read? Is it common to read?
I think you would, because you are you go alone for several things.
We're gaming. They could come in handy.
You are not one of the lowest of your order, so I think you would be literate.
Okay. Well, it's more a setting question for David. If it's normal for someone to learn how to do that, or if it's something that only specialists do.
Oh, literacy is common in Nelforge.
Okay, then I can read.
The Duke and his people insist upon it.
I still remember you saying something about that. I didn't remember specifically, but I was thinking, oh yeah, the setting it seems to encourage, some base level of education.
Cosmopolitan and progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a
In
good way to
fact,
put
in
it.
third edition, it specifically said all the classes are literate except for barbarians.
Whatever.
Well, of course,
Barbarian is the only class that didn't give you literacy for being in it.
but that would depend on setting, which is why I asked.
Right. In this case, Nelforge is deeply steeped in literature.
Nice. It's a good way to relax after a long day of healing and also killing people.
So
Not that you have to do a whole lot of killing around town. Not yet.
That's what road trips are for.
Yeah, I like to spend time on the road.
No reason. It just I like the outdoors and
I cleared nests of bandits. What
Really?
can I say?
nice scenery and yeah, also swift justice.
Yes, nice scenery and also swift justice. I like the way you play, James.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so
I guess then as a group, you're heading over to Academy Circle.
Yeah.
What are you researching?
What are we researching? For one thing, that place where we are going. What is there to know about?
What is there to know about Cephalville?
Cephalville, yes.
Cephalville.
Cephalville.
Syphil?
In particular, we'd be interested in figuring out what kind of problems the Countess and her daughter, and possibly by extension us, are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, on the way and there.
Current events. Are there newspapers about things happening nearby?
Well, for current events, what you want to do is hang around in a tavern and listen for the grapevine.
What is that?
But also histories in the area to find out if there's any old festering problems. And also stuff about like monsters indigenous to the area.
Or Hatfield.
Okay. So you're going to look for, if you're going to go to an Academy Circle, unless you're going to visit a tavern or two there and listen for things there, what you're going to get is the great picture around Cephalville, not what's happening there currently.
I think I'm going to go scuttlebutt fishing at the taverns. That's probably the most likely means of finding out what we need there.
Yeah. I'm leafing through the books. You are leafing through the people because you're a bard.
Yes.
And
yes. I walk into a tavern in the public and says, "I told you to get out of here. You're barred."
That's so bad.
That was bad. You should feel bad. You said, "I'm not sorry."
Good.
I regret nothing. So let's see. Let's begin.
I'm sure I can make him regret it.
Let's begin with Argyle and a history check.
A history check.
You have advantage. You have advantage on it because you're in the library in Academy Circle.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, please.
Advantage on history. Where is the history? Here it is.
What you're doing is you're rolling 2d20, taking the better one and adding your history bonus.
I am. The better one, the one is 8, the other is 15. So the better one is 15 plus the intelligence bonus, which is 3. Brings me up to 18.
Plus you have proficiency in history, don't you?
No, only in investigation. And in arcana, but not in history.
I can't help thinking you should have more than that, but we'll visit that later. In the meantime, let's get rid of that window.
It's like, do you want to give him free trained skills? Okay. Sure. I'm all for having party members be
more skilled.
Yeah, exactly.
That may yet happen. I'm going to start reviewing people's background choices and starting assigning skills from that.
Okay. But 18 is good.
18 is a good number. It allows you to find that Cephalaville does not have a whole... Historically, Cephalaville does not have a whole lot going for it. It is a peaceful farming community. Has an annual fair that goes back about 30 or 40 years. And that should be coming up in a month or so.
How fortuitous.
And it says that... oh, in fact, the previous count... the one that was living there before...
Yes.
Passed away peacefully about 22 years ago. And it had been just a matter of getting a new count installed there, which they weren't really pushing for someone new to come in, and the Duke didn't really have anyone to spare. Count Levenel was picked for that position eventually, but, well, now his daughter's going.
And who is running things in the meantime?
In the meantime, you see a number of... there are a few names attached to it, but the current burgher of Cephalaville is a man named Ladislas Coupry.
Ladislas Coupry.
Ladislas Coupry.
Oh, okay. It is now spelled differently in my head.
Ladislas?
Yeah, I heard like Liss or Lace, but LAS sounds a lot better in my head.
Ladder sass. No.
Yeah. I was something with like lettuce or I don't know. It was
lettuce sass a ladder.
How long is he?
Ladislas.
How long does he lead the area?
He's been the nominal head of that area for about 25 years now.
Wow.
Oh, he's... I hope he's not going to be a
25 years.
Yes.
Oh, I think he will be... He will surely be a bit wary of newcomers, but if we rely on his expertise, I think he will feel valued.
That could very well be.
And we will rely on his expertise because after 25 years, he will know every
place inside and out.
Every nook and cranny of the place.
What are you getting at? Why are we relying on his expertise?
Oh, I mean, I mean them. They are relying on his expertise. I wouldn't. It's way too soon for me at my level of character to be looking for a place to rule.
You're like, I'm a level 4 wizard. I should be made somewhere.
Actually, this plays into Andreas's ambitions for Argyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fame, fast and hard, and if he's not careful, he'll get it.
Argyle the Eternal. I would want to be.
Careful. There are a lot of things you don't want to do forever.
Like have hiccups. You definitely don't want to have the hiccups forever.
Yeah.
I can see that being bad. Yeah, 250 years later. You see that casket over there that's hopping up and down?
Disadvantage on all stealth rolls.
Not to mention any charisma-based skills.
Yeah. That would be true too. You wouldn't be able to sing or try to intimidate somebody or or woo somebody. That would all go very poorly.
Well,
unless they had a really weird fetish.
Yeah, singing wouldn't work terribly well, but beatboxing could get interesting.
What do the Cephalovillians produce and deal with? Deal in
grains and livestock mostly. They are a farming community.
It's really farm. Okay.
It is so farm.
Okay.
Much agriculture. Wow.
Grains and livestock. Okay, that looks
and produce
pretty good.
Now,
that looks like a perfect place.
Produce. No, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced produce.
Let's go to the bard.
They produce produce. Now, John.
That would be a lot funnier in writing.
But harder to read. So let's get on to Thagak and his sitting in at a bar in Academy Circle. Or are you heading back out to Wagon Row?
Yeah. You know, it's just walking into a especially Wagon Row would probably be better.
Okay, Wagon Row.
Basically, what news on the what news on the Kemery circuit, and what not? Let me see.
Right. Anything you spending on this check?
Charisma roll.
Anything you spending or bringing to bear on this roll?
Oh,
he's bringing his bear.
Let me see. Well, if I want to prime the pump by telling a few stories, I could use performance.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh.
Okay, I have expertise in that, which I believe doubles my proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
So I have +2 on performance, and then I also have proficiency, so that's another +4 total.
No, okay, being a bard, you have double performance proficiency?
Yeah, basically, I have the bardic ability of expertise.
Okay.
Which I believe doubles my proficiency bonus on performance and persuasion.
Okay, let's go with that. So you're going to have a total +6, it looks like.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that gets me to 10.
That's too bad.
Yeah, Loot's a bit out of tune today.
Or I could have just taken 10 on that, but whatever. At least I haven't alienated anybody, and they were like, yeah. And then but maybe I can turn it around and say, can you top me that? Can you top that with news along the whatever? I say,
Turning it into a Now let's see. This sounds like it should be a skill use of some sort too.
Basically, I just okay. I'll make a persuade check when I look at the next person who's be most likely to have the information I'm looking for, and say, I guess you're going to win.
Yeah, let's go with that. Now give me that persuasion check.
Well, that gives me a total of 17.
That's much better. So you can get the news out of Cephalotville.
Yep.
Which is a fairly well-to-do community as farming goes.
Right, prosperous farming community.
Especially these days. And the spring looks like it's going to be a some springs they get a little dry. Rain has been falling there much more often.
Spring hasn't been as dry as it usually is.
Yes.
You
get some rain in the spring, but Cephalotville seems to be abusing the privilege.
Right.
In fact, there's talk about this year's spring fair being threatened.
Right, it might get rained out.
Suspiciously rainy.
Right. Well.
Oh, the vibe isn't this is unusual, just that there has been more rain than there usually is.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. So it isn't alarmingly rainy, just unseasonably
just unseasonably moist.
Yes, the rain's been there's been just a little bit more rain than there usually is.
Actually,
the mean.
Let's say more than a little bit, but not necessarily supernaturally more. Let's put it that way.
Right. Not alarmingly more.
Within one standard deviation.
Yeah, some people outside the standard deviation are alarmed.
Yes.
So, Tess, I'm guessing you're
general anxiety disorder.
And they happen sometimes. So I'm guessing Tess is with Agak because books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as opposed to, tavern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Books. Drink. Books. Funk. Yeah.
A little lopsided, that particular judgment there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Despite his poor rolls, Thagak is still better to try to get information from people than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let's see.
But if I can influence the mood, people might not be in the mood for quiet. But, with a barbarian warrior in here drinking.
Well, that's enough to spur some conversation by itself.
Yes.
There was a picture chart of all the.
Now, let's get...
Oh,
yeah. There'd be another little thing talked about in the bar occasionally.
Yep.
A dead body found on the streets one morning down in Tuning's Fork.
I could take a look.
And where is that?
That is the depressed south of Nelforge.
Ah.
Not everything in Nelforge can be bright and shiny like Bishop Circle.
Right. But yeah, okay, a dead body found in Tuning's Fork.
Okay, a dead body found in Tuning's Fork that the Inquisitives are being surprisingly tight-lipped about. And apparently this is Tuning's Fork. And this is apparently not the first one either.
Ooh. Strange.
Indeed.
But we're not going anywhere near there, are we?
Nope. We're going to stay in the nice parts of town.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
But we may go there later.
Yeah, it may happen. So now we turn to Saphir.
Well, I'm going to spread that information later, but Saphir, do go on.
Shoot.
You might be muted.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I am.
Yeah, so, Saphir, you went with Argyle to Academy Circle, and you did kind of split off from him as he was researching Cephalaville, and Cephalaville has never really been the site of any major campaigns.
No, not exactly.
Nor has it needed to be.
Just a minor inquisition.
Imposition. That's what I meant. Imposition. No.
You can use it as a crock pot as well.
No.
No, we're not really in the Inquisition business.
Nope.
So,
actually, the best way to get confessions out of people is to treat them like people.
turns out that's how it works.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the Temple of Briscus has a very strong disapproval of that kind of nonsense. I think, like, the few times that I found various criminals using things like that, those kind of techniques and torture and stuff, their justice was very swift.
I can imagine.
And very satisfying. But no, I think I'm researching other stuff. I mean, we don't really need to cover it. I just thought it would be cool to look into, like, although if we're going to be spending time here and staying here, I could look into like local cuisine and local culture.
Pardon. Local cuisine I actually posted about in the community.
Oh, really?
I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I posted something about cuisine in there. Maybe something I'll have to revisit.
Nice. Sophia has an interest in cooking. He really enjoys cooking and homemaking type stuff. I mean, when you spend so much time on the road in a tent, you really get an appreciation for things like curtains and table settings and all the stuff you don't usually get to bother with. So I think he has an appreciation for that.
Now I have this interesting mental image. Paladin of Briscus goes into Academy Circle, starting to look for martial and military texts, but then starts rifling cookbooks.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I think what happens is I look in medical texts, discover that there aren't any yet that the library has acquired that I haven't already read. Look at martial texts, and then notice like the cookbooks nearby, and I'm like, so I pick one out to like read a little later, and then go over to the cookbooks and look through like that kind of stuff.
I could see it happening the other way. So first you're looking at the military stuff, then you're looking at the medical stuff. From there you start getting into folk remedies, and that gets you into the cooking.
Yeah, basically.
Being, however, that you're looking around for this knowledge in Academy Circle, yeah, be careful not to summon anything with that beef Wellington, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
No promises. No promises.
I like to hear that. Anyway.
Half-orc walks into a bar. Bartender says, "We don't serve orcs here." Half-orc says, "I don't eat them."
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
I don't want any accidental cannibalism.
Only purposeful.
It would only be half cannibalism.
I don't know. Does this world have a taboo against cannibalism? Is that a thing people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yes, I would like to avoid that.
Yeah, that whole anthropophagy thing is kind of frowned upon.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Reminds me of a line from Larry Niven, but not now.
Okay. Yeah, Saria, while you're perusing the cookbooks.
Yes.
You notice a man in robes regarding you from down an aisle of books.
Okay.
An Academy Circle. What are the odds?
I will nod to him politely, and if he is still watching me, just inquire very directly and say, "Will you have words with me, sir?"
Oh.
That's not confrontational. That's just like, do you want to talk to me?
I understand, and he accepts the question in the manner in which it was intended. Well, yes, if you don't mind. Yes.
I have a bit of time.
Well, my name is Heyman Flarsh. Now, the Minister of Children and Education in Nelforge. I believe I know you by reputation. You're one of those adventurers involved in the situation around the Lavanel household, yes?
A situation, it certainly was, sir. It certainly was. Yes, that's I.
I understand the nature of it and will remain circumspect about that. Yes. Now, there is another matter which it could be, I could use your help if you're available.
Please speak.
All right. Part of my job is making sure that the future citizens of Nelforge, well, current citizens of Nelforge, children basically, get to school, get an education. Because an educated populace is the greatest service we can give to the citizens of the city.
Ah, all right. I support this cause, though it is not my own. Yes. But I like to think I help out the future of the city in my own way.
Yes, thank you. We've run into an issue, though. Down in Tuning's Fork, we've heard word of a child that has escaped his education.
Escaped his education.
That's the only way I can really put it. We've sent representatives down there to find this boy. We believe it is a male child, and he has eluded the watchful eyes of the truants we have sent down there.
Well, do you believe that he is truant through his own will or some mishap?
That's
These
not
aren't.
that's a subscription.
Okay. Do you believe he is truant of his own will or through some mishap?
Well, if it is of his own will, that really shouldn't be shouldn't enter into it. The education is for his own good, literally. If it is by mishap, then he requires assistance.
Certainly, assistance will be given. However, if the child is truant of his own decision, surely some change in the method of education would remedy that well enough.
If he has valid reason to avoid the schools in that area, even in that area, I should want to know about them.
Exactly. That's my point. All right, then. I will take up this cause. Direct me to who I may speak to. Who is this child's caretaker? Is he a ward of the city or?
No, he has. Well, we assume he has parents in the area. As we've had difficulty finding the child, we have also had some difficulty locating his parents.
Is it possibly the whole family has gone missing?
I should hope not. This may turn into a wider. Yeah, this might turn into a wider ranging investigation than I had feared.
David, this is an OC question. Is there debt imprisonment in this world? Is that a thing? Like, is there a loss of freedom as a result of debt? Ever?
Well, some could consider feudalism the sort of ultimate expression of that, but there is no official debtor's prison in Nelford or anywhere in Chaldea. Other kingdoms may have it, though.
Okay, other kingdoms might have it, but not around here. So that's not something
not around here.
Somebody would go somewhere else to avoid. Okay, that's good. I will look into this. Have you a map or any sort of directions or someone I can speak to direct me to this family's dwelling? Speaking to the parents is my first objective. I assume that their interest in their child's education would match yours, or so I hope.
Finding the child's parents might be the first challenge. I can point you to the approximate area where, based upon the child's sightings, we have to assume his parents reside.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there is in Tuning's Fork, a street called Wendell's Way. We believe that his parents live in that area, based upon where we've seen the child.
All right. Have you ever lived in Tuning's Fork yourself?
I have not. I have lived a major portion of my life, a majority, in fact, right here in Academy Circle.
So it would be unfair to...
Yeah, I admit that I have led a sheltered life.
Well...
And our people are at a disadvantage in that area, so any assistance you could lend.
It is good to recognize that, at least.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming to me. It speaks well of... Well... And I don't know how to say this. Basically, would say, I appreciate the fact that you show trust in me, in my abilities.
That sounded a good way to describe it.
Yeah, that. Yeah, it says that.
That's what I said.
Yep. Saphir might put it a bit more simply, but certainly sums it up.
Mm-hmm.
And he is gratified upon hearing that.
Yes. So I thank him and give an appropriately polite goodbye, and I also let him know that he can send messages to me at the Temple of Briscus, obviously, and that I will, as soon as it is convenient, depart upon this errand.
Okay. If you come by my office this afternoon, I can provide you with more information, directions to Wendell's Way, a representative in the area in case you run into any sort of legal difficulties.
All right. I will be there.
All right, thank you.
Your name, sir? Again?
Heyman Flarsh.
Heyman Flarsh. And Saphir takes out his trusty notepad and scribbles it down because names are the worst to remember.
Especially in this game, apparently.
In all of your games. But yes, he will scribble it down.
Sometimes it's because I throw so many at you. In this particular case, it's because it's just so odd. But when I was coming up with the campaign documentation, Heyman Flarsh, Minister of Children, just tickled me for some reason.
I like it. I like
Minister
it.
of Children.
And Saphir had to bite his tongue not to say, well, if kids are avoiding your school, maybe you should be more exciting. But he can be diplomatic when he wants to be. So yeah, I will continue about my business and then later on go to his office. But after checking in with Argyle and being like, Argyle, I've been given a task which I hope to... Wait, how far away is Tuning's Fork?
Tuning's Fork
is this a place I have to travel to over the next day or so, or is this I can pop over there this evening?
You could pop over there this evening. Tuning's Fork is a neighborhood in Nelforge.
Inside city limits.
Inside the city limits.
All right. Then I'll let Argyle know. Argyle, there is an errand.
In fact, before we get too deeply into that interaction, let's bring the whole gang back together.
Okay. All right.
Making food when I don't have.
So we step outside of the library, and you tell me.
And we come by the yes.
Well, are we going to hand wave my meeting again with Heyman and just say that that's already happened, or?
Yeah, we can say that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Okay, so the rest of us get together and, nothing really about, what's the place called again?
Cephlaville.
Nothing much about Cephlaville, except that they've been getting a little more rain than usual this spring, but nothing alarming about that. It happens sometimes. Mainly the news from down Tuning's Fork way. Apparently, a dead body's been found in the road, and it's apparently not the first one. No idea what they're doing, but as a bard, I'm interested in any place called Tuning Fork.
Yeah.
I am headed there myself. I have an errand this evening, which I've been set upon. So, I'm heading to Tuning Fork.
What errand is that?
The Minister of Children has asked me to chase down a truant. I don't think there's much to it, unless, of course, there is. Which there might be. If there is trouble in the neighborhood, well then, perhaps the two are connected. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking.
The minister. That sounds really worthwhile. What is it about? What is it about?
Oh, a truant, nothing more. May just be a lad a bit bored with his classes, and maybe more. I don't really know yet. I'm going to meet with him this afternoon to get more information. First, I must find the family and understand the nature of the lad's truancy. I shouldn't need help with this, but I will, of course, let you know if there's more to it.
Wonderful. Maybe if there is a string of crimes that are out of the ordinary in the same neighborhood, maybe we should come with you either way and take a look into it.
I do enjoy
That's
the
not a bad
neighborhood.
idea.
I'm looking forward to spending time there again. So, of course, if you'd like to come and have dinner,
Yes, very
I
much.
should welcome that.
Let's
Excellent.
do that.
I was hoping you'd say so.
Good. While Saria is busy with the Beatles, we go have dinner and find wayward children and look into the matter of deaths a bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure the City Watch will look after it anyway.
We definitely got to talk to the Inquisitives.
The Inquisitives? Is that a band?
No, the detectives.
Detective.
The Duke's investigators.
The Inquisitives.
Yeah.
I've seen the term bandied about in some fiction.
It was used in the Eberron setting.
Yeah, that's where I first saw it, come to think of it.
It's the word that kind of, in the world of Eberron, evolved in place of detective. They just needed something to call it, and they came up with that instead of that.
Instead of detecting, they inquire.
True. All right. So, let's do that. So first is in the afternoon, Saphir has a one-on-one meeting with the minister, right? And after this,
after that, you're at your own wit's end.
We go to the tuning fork place and snoop around. Good. Let's go to the meeting of Saphir and the minister, I think.
Saphir is bringing a bunch of people to the meeting?
Oh, I don't think so. That would be a bit rude. But the bunch of people is waiting outside, I think.
That sounds good. Yeah, Minister Flarsh, turns out, has a number of other people there in his chambers, and handling notes and memos and so forth. You get the feeling this guy would be perfectly content to be in a cloister somewhere writing out manuscripts. But in the meantime, he is expressing his love of education and knowledge externally.
What does that mean?
He is a bookish individual. He does maybe focus a little too much on the raw knowledge and a bit less on the application.
Yes. I feel like Saphir, in theory, respects this kind of thing, but also kind of raises an eyebrow at it. Like, what's the use of knowing all that shit if you're not going to do anything with it? But
maybe he pities it just a little bit.
What?
Maybe he pities it just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That works too. Anyway, you have the meeting with him where he gives you the he gives you the directions to Wendell's Way, number of the places where the child has been spotted.
Yes.
Usually just through crowds.
All right.
And they're never able to get to the child when they intend to, or in time to catch him. They are certain it's a boy, though.
I'm calling it now. The kid's a ghost.
I did also wonder that.
See it on this calendar. Doesn't want to tell me.
He disappears.
Killed as a boy. Of course, children tend to be whatever they like, so Sophia isn't assuming anything.
Right.
All right.
So you
So
have-
I send a message to the Temple of Briskets that I will be out that night and that I will be in Tuning Spork, doing a bit of business for the Minister of Children, so that they know why I don't show up at supper. So, and that and I give them the name of the inn that I intend to stay at.
The name of an inn in Tuning's Fork.
Yes. And I'll say send any messages to me there.
Yeah, if there is one, I might even already know about it.
Oh, okay. But then
Friday the 26th.
is it a nice neighborhood?
No, it isn't. There,
Oh,
there
it
is not much of Tuning's Fork that could be considered nice.
Yeah.
It
So
is, in
it's
fact, a rather rough and tumble neighborhood.
Nice. Well, then I probably will. Then I mean, I'm certain I like it there. That's the kind of place.
Very interesting paladin.
What?
Very interesting paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Not cut from the same cloth as other paladins.
No, other paladins are boring.
Yeah. 4:45 to 3:50.
So, shall we sit up?
That's normal.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have,
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
I'll go.
we have
Tuning Spork.
we get mail.
Okay, Tuning's Fork. Yeah, probably set up in one of the nicest inns in the area, which is a place called the Donkey's Kick.
Yeah, Donkey's Kick. Do they have good beer?
Well, okay, let's put it this way: the house tap is called Donkey Ale.
It still counts.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
The tagline is, "It'll get you drunk."
Like my dad used to say, it's in the water, son. That's why
That's why it's yellow. Air whiz beer. Yeah.
But I mean, it's only Monday, so Tuesday we come in. And
Oh well.
And the
Oh.
mood, and the mood in the inn that evening is
Tuesday
festive.
is a weird day because we rarely get any mail on Tuesday. So
But it's a slightly mean-spirited festive, as they do down that way.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
by the end of Tuesday.
I swear, if anyone yells "yar,"
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
I
We just
will
wait
join
an
in.
hour later after
Too far
I'm
inland,
probably LR.
Yeah, too far inland.
unless they're
Yes.
land pirates.
Did you know, by the way, that donkeys can actually use their hind legs to kick people who are in front of them? They're
Really?
limber.
Dang.
Pretty
They kind of rotate, or
I imagine it would have to be some sort of spin kick.
Yeah. Something like
oh,
that. I'm not sure.
I always appreciate good donkey facts.
Hashtag donkey facts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not every inn you find a serving wench wearing an eye patch.
Nice.
Hmm.
Is that like part of the uniform, or is
No,
that
she
like-
needs an eye patch.
Hmm.
Nice.
You can even see the scars from the knife fight she was in when she lost that eye.
Oh, I'm going to congratulate her and be like, that looks like a good fight. That's excellent. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I won it too.
And then I think I'm gonna start show off one of my best scars, which is a scar going down the neck. Like, usually if your neck gets slashed open, you don't survive, but I did, which is why I'm showing it off.
And that shouldn't be a problem.
Hate to see the other guy.
Okay, so Saphira is engaging in possibly the most visceral form of carousing there is.
You can see the other guy, but you need a shovel.
Oh, I like that. Meanwhile, what about the rest of you?
Taking a good look around in the room, I guess. Quietly, because I think I don't fit in very well here. So I'm trying to stay in the shadows.
Well, let's see.
I'll keep you safe.
Looking at it, looking at it from their perspective, a wizard, a barbarian, a bard, and a paladin walk into a bar.
Okay. Not much with the shadows then.
Not much with the shadows at all. You don't have a rogue, so maybe for that reason you don't quite fit in.
They're waiting for the punchline.
Which has yet to happen. So when it does, you'll be the first to know, I think.
So I'm looking to the bard actually for taking leadership in speaking with the people and finding out what we might be wanting to find out about what's going on. Because the thing with the missing student is the paladin's business, and I expect that it will go swimmingly, and there will be no hitch in that. She will just find the family, talk to them, and everything will be all right. But the other part with the dead people, that's the thing where I hope that Thagak will get people to talk.
Yeah. That's something more like people are more likely to know about than some random kid who doesn't attend classes that people in general probably wouldn't care too much about, whereas
exactly,
dead bodies.
So, John, the bard is being leaned upon.
The bard is being leaned upon.
Socialize.
Socialize. So, I guess persuasion or is it persuasion or performance, really?
No, it'd be persuasion.
Just a general charisma check.
Oh,
you're not saving against anything in particular, so yeah, we're gonna call it persuasion.
Okay. Well, that's one of my expertise skills, so. Oh my goodness, that gives me an 18.
Yay.
Much better. Nice.
Nice.
Whew. Very good. Good to have a bard.
Actually, which were you asking about? The deaths or the child?
The deaths.
The deaths.
Okay. You sort of have to ease into the subject.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You don't know. Yeah, there aren't many that know about the deaths because the detective's been kind of keeping it hush-hushed, which usually means this is something more than someone getting knifed over a meat pie.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like a friendly social evening. Yes, we have a little discussion over meat pie, and then I get knifed over meat pie.
No, this wasn't just an argument over meat pie.
Yeah.
Just
a friendly knifing over meat pie.
Yeah, if the Duke's men don't talk about a death, especially one in Tuning's Fork, means there was something unusual about it.
Right.
Go on.
So yes, I definitely have to come at it sideways.
Yeah, there's one or two inquisitives on the case that keep an awfully tight-lipped about it. Either their investigation isn't going well, or what they're finding is hurting their heads.
Yeah, probably we just get rather than rather than details, probably we might just get who's actually doing the investigation.
The one doing the investigation, you get a name for that. Ramon Cupris. Inquisitive in the Duke's guardhouse in Tuning's Fork.
Cupris. Any relation to Cupri from Cephalville?
Nope, this one is a different spelling.
Okay.
Although both could be considered reasonable corruptions of the old classic title of barrel maker. So different, could be related, but very distantly.
So the other one, what's the second one?
Which second one?
Two inquisitives. One was called Ramon Cupris.
The other one is Gordon Vastero. You want to pry into the Duke's business, those two are the ones you're going to have to lean on.
Yeah.
Ramon, you might be able to do that with. Don't try it with Gordon.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I want to lean on the Duke's men. It seems like a bad thing to do.
Yeah. Good cop, bad cop.
Sometimes you got to do that to make them back off, you know?
Yeah.
They start poking their noses into your business. You have to warn them off sometimes.
Makes sense.
I guess as long as they don't take it as a challenge.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So essentially that involves just kind of, yes, coming at it sideways, eventually coming around, and ultimately just getting a little bit of scuttlebutt.
And I guess pretty much the scuttlebutt you pick up from this is that the Duke's men are sort of put off by these particular deaths. Something about them is odd.
Okay. And then kind of just sort of lead the conversation all over the place, sort of back and forth into various things. And mix it in with another bunch of completely innocuous things, just looking for news from all over, and kind of just sort of apropos of nothing wander over the subject of they're looking for some kid.
Let's see.
Very smooth.
Another persuasion roll or not?
I'll let you keep writing on this one because you did well enough with that, but I will throw in one particular oddity. You're sort of going all over the place.
Yep.
In order to lead to the question about the loose child on Wendell's Way.
Yep.
And you get a surprise. Cephalville comes up in the conversation at one point, and the guy you're talking to smiles at that. Oh, I know a guy. Yeah, I've heard of the place.
Oh, you tell.
Yeah,
And I
guy-
wave to the barmaid, and
yeah,
slap
guy.
a couple of coins on the table.
Well, I know a guy that gets stuff from there every so often. If you need someone done, he's your man.
You say someone done?
Someone done, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
So while
So-
you're plumbing the depths of that particular minefield, let's switch back over to Saphir for a minute or two. You've had some time with the barmaid, and well, there's only so much undressing you can do on the tavern floor without someone striking up music.
Yeah.
Besides Thagak. Yeah.
Speaking of,
Yeah,
I
kid,
inquire.
Interesting turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
I inquire politely if there's anyone at this inn that does overnights.
What?
I mean,
Overnights? I usually just work by the hour.
no. All right then. Anyway, and I'll bring up in conversation eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So,
About the child?
I used to stay here all the time. I love this neighborhood. You don't.
You might be one of the few that do. These days, few people end up here by choice.
Is that how it is? No. I spent time here when I was a lad, carrying messages for people, carrying packages, that sort of thing.
Mm.
In fact, there is a lad here that I had hoped to offer some favors and opportunities. Used to carry messages for me, but I haven't seen him. Lived down Wendell's way. Do you know the place?
Yeah, I know a few of the kids down that way, and
Remarkably hard to keep track of, aren't they?
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
if they do their hiding right, they can be. But I know most of the hiding places.
Do you now?
Yeah.
See, I knew you were even smarter than you were impressive. Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to say beautiful? I'm sure all the other colleges here, they'll also call you beautiful. Well, I don't value that as much as other things, I have to admit, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
Not that you're not.
Yeah, I'll take dangerous over beautiful any day.
See?
Mm-hmm.
To the kind. So you know the place?
Well, I know of a few places. If you're looking for kids hiding around Wendell's Way, I know a few of the places where they go.
I don't suppose you'd be up for a nighttime adventure, would you? I mean, unless you have better prospects here. And he doesn't, he looks skeptical about that.
Yeah, I got serving most of the night to do. And then, well, I'll be going home as quickly as I can after that because,
Oh, have you got little ones of your own at home?
No, but I do want to make it home in one piece.
Dun, dun,
You're worried.
dun.
I would be happy to escort you.
And we never saw her again.
I think I'll take you up on that.
All right, then. I'll tell you what. You're doing me a good one. As long as I'm in the town, I would be happy to walk you here and there. If you have a fear for your skin. Not that I doubt you could take well care of anything that came your way.
Well, I got a few knives on me, but sometimes you just don't want to stab a guy.
No, it kind of puts a damper on the whole evening, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the laundry and the. And he's by the way, this is a real complaint. He's not like exaggerating. He's just like, stabbing a guy. I mean, it's fine, but it's
as long as you're having meat pie.
Yeah.
Actually, he'll say that. He'll like, hey, but as long as you're having meat pie anyway.
I know, especially Laxby's. He makes great meat pies.
I'll remember that. Well then.
This is going to turn into a running gag, isn't it?
Wait, I did get the kid's name, right?
You can get from her the names of a number of kids.
Okay, but I mean, did the minister bother to give me the kid's name that's truant?
He doesn't know who the boy is. He doesn't even have a name.
He's like, so there's a kid that lives on this street that's not coming to school. I don't know. That's all I got. Saphir's just like, well, no wonder this kid's got no time for you. You don't even learn his name.
I know, it sounds so
already preparing, you might have to do school, but it's really not that important kind of speech. Okay. So I will go out and familiarize myself with the area, but I do have plans to meet her. And and she gives me the names of several kids from Wendell's Way, right? That's okay. So I'll go wander that way, but I do promise to come back and walk her home. And tip well.
Well, the kids a ghost theory is looking better and better.
Right? And Saphir is hoping to hang out with this chick later. What's her name? The badass barmaid with the eye patch.
Your badass barmaid is named Hannah. Hana.
All right. She's cool. I like her. I kind of want to be like, have you ever thought about moving your operation to the Temple of Briscus? Because I think they would appreciate your style. So it does seem like the neighborhood has significantly decreased in comfort and stability since I was familiar with it. Because she said nobody here is here by choice anymore.
Well, it's never really been that... Well, maybe it's never really been that good, and it was just, it took you getting out of there to realize just how bad it was?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it was the shine back when danger was exciting. Wait, what am I saying? Danger is still exciting.
So let's see. The paladin is wandering off to Wendell's Way by himself.
I'll let them know. I'm like, okay, I'm setting off. Have a good supper, lads. And then he'll point at Hana and be like, by the way, don't try to cheat that one, or I'm not going to feel sorry for what happens to you.
Which one are you pointing at?
Hana.
You're warning the other PCs about her.
Yeah, I'm warning the PCs, like, if you hire her, don't try to cheat her, or you're going to deserve what happens to you. Because
we are.
I mean, she had her eye gouged out and still won the fight. That's cool. That's
it was
impressive.
Just a slash.
Respect.
I mean, it's mostly still there.
Okay. Oh, well, as a half orc, I said, foreplay, huh?
And I kind of like point my finger and go, like, you get what I'm saying. What's up? But yeah, I'm gonna set out. Well, they do their murder investigation, because I'm assuming that their murder investigation is gonna take more buying rounds of drinks and so on. My own thing.
Right, and let's see. When the paladin leaves, that leaves just the wizard, barbarian, and bard.
Mm-hmm. So what did we learn about our criminal activity?
Well,
about the criminal activity, you've learned that
that there are two investigators
looking into the dead bodies.
Looking into the dead bodies, and something about their deaths is odd enough that they feel the need not to talk about death in Tuning's Fork.
What's more, there's somebody.
What about witnesses?
Gets supplies from Cephaleville, and apparently is specializes in bespoke murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
that's odd.
Not in murder of just anyone on the street. But it sounds like they have a hired assassin from Cephaleville.
As he said, you want somebody done, he's your man. Meaning that, yes.
Yeah.
Well, no one's going to just kill random thugs on the street. Also, we don't yet know who the victims at Tuning's Fork were, whether they'd been identified.
Exactly. But the people in Tuning's Fork are hardly dependent on what the investigatives tell them. I think that there will be rumors. Yeah. But I would like to know how to contact the man from Cephaleville.
So you're fishing into that, are you?
Yes.
Okay, this is going to require a persuasion check from somebody.
Not me. It's not going to happen.
Fagak, go ahead.
Barbarian goes, not it.
Nope.
Yeah. I have mislaid my die.
Ask them how to contact the guy.
Would you like me to roll for you? Disclaimer, this involves me rolling my die.
And it's +6.
+6, wow.
Yeah, persuade.
Yeah, that is a total of 12.
Ooh, bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not good. Chances
Not
are
good enough. People are deaf on that ear. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they get a little tight-lipped when you start asking about hired killers.
And then I just sort of say, you know what? Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking out my ass. Forget it.
Right.
So then it's time for the rumors about the victims.
So I just sort of, change the subject and get stuff going on some completely different subject.
Mm-hmm. Or you try to anyway.
I try to. But yeah, you know what? Apparently that's going to be the end of my conversation there, so I better be on my way.
So where are you headed? Leaving the wizard and barbarian.
Oh no. We are hanging on his what's on his breeches, or what is the
coattails?
Yeah, on his coattails. Yes.
Although breeches might not be that out of place right now because
So
yeah, it's looking like you're going to get into a couple of guys are standing up over at the other end of the bar and looking in your direction intently.
Yeah, we don't need that kind of attention.
You don't need that kind of attention, but it's looking like you got it.
But it's late anyways, and I think we have to...
It's late, and we're going to take care of that combat next time.
Combat.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that it's time to get to bed, because this little wizard needs his sleep to refuel his spell slots.
Right. And you think that's going to discourage people in Tuning's Fork? Oh, you sweet summer child.
They just want to give him one of those really cool battle scars that are all the rage.
Oh, so you're doing that combat next time. So does
Doing
that
that-
mean we're wrapping up for the day?
We're not quite done for the day. Then there's your foray.
Then there's my foray.
Then there's your foray. You're wandering around Wendell's Way looking for any sign of that child?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, going to the house that the family supposedly lives in and knocking on the door.
Wendell's Way has quite a few houses on it. This is, if you want to put a polite face on it, this is a lower class concentrated living.
Yeah, but they didn't even tell me which house? Jesus! This minister guy is so out of touch.
He is, yes. But there's also the problem, they don't know who the child is, who the parents are, or where they live. Just where the child has been seen, and extrapolating from that.
The existence of the child is hearsay.
So the child doesn't even know it is supposed to go to school because nobody ever wrote them a letter. Wrote a letter to the family. They have no idea. So no wonder they don't show up.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, it's problematic that way. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then I guess if I don't have a specific door to knock on, I'll just
start looking up and down the street at. Actually, no. I'm going to ask you for your technique. It's getting on toward evening.
Loitering, mostly.
The streets are surprisingly clear at this hour.
At this hour, yes. There must be someone who comes out, though. Someone I can strike up a conversation with. You know, someone out on their balcony or their stoop having a smoke or whatever.
Someone might want to strike you.
I think she's wearing armor. I don't think anyone will strike her.
They may strike at her, except in this case, really, it is kind of disconcerting how quiet this street is.
Huh.
Mouse fart.
Yeah, it's Wendell's Way. It's not quite night yet. Well, the lamps aren't lamps aren't getting lit because it looks like they haven't been lit for a while, and the street is getting dark, and nobody's out on it.
There should be all kinds of people just like yelling and fighting and bucking and cooking dinner and all kinds of stuff like that. If it's that concentrated, there should just be all kinds of noise.
They're keeping it in the house and closing the doors.
Yeah, the walls don't really quiet things much.
And they're keeping it behind closed doors and shutters.
That is weird.
You can see some slats of light in the various windows, but no light on the street.
I'm just gonna go up to one of the houses that has light inside where I know someone's home and knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Guy comes in, opens the door and says, "Yeah."
Sorry to bother you. I know it's late. What's going on? Why is everyone here so afraid?
You haven't heard about the thing, have you?
The thing?
No. Been on campaign. It's...
Yeah, something's been stalking the streets around here.
Something. Surely you don't mean someone? All right.
Someone don't leave bite marks like that.
Really? Bite marks better than this. And I'll pull up his cheek to show off his amazing teeth that could bite through iron and be like, cool, but better than mine? Really?
This is where a werewolf bit me.
Huh.
Wait, you show him your teeth?
Yeah, basically, this person is this are the bite marks more ferocious than mine? a little disbelieving and a little wanting information. Are there survivors?
Yeah.
How many?
Everyone on the street who stayed inside.
Oh God. Then how many dead?
Only heard of the 3 so far.
3. 3 so far. And of course, the City Watch has done nothing. Oh, of course they don't. They're useless. What arrangements have you all made for each other?
Staying indoors.
Fair enough. Look, there's a lad around here. I used to carry messages for me, you know. He seemed glad enough of the coin. I haven't seen him. Little kid. Has no use for schooling. Do you know the one? Gave me a different name every time, so... Smart lad.
A smart lad wouldn't be out on the street at this time.
That's why I'm a bit worried.
Yeah.
I haven't checked all the hiding places. You know, kids deserve their privacy, but I am worried.
You might want to wait until day. People will be out on the street then.
Most of the families have moved out.
You stand a better... Yeah, move out.
Those that could.
People are here because they don't get... People are here because they can't get anywhere else.
Stand a better chance in the day. So nights when this thing comes.
Yeah.
Where are the bodies being kept? Or are they already buried?
I think the... Yeah, 1 or 2 of the Duke's men are collecting them up as they find them.
Ha! Ha! Oh, so the Duke's well aware of the danger, just, you know. And Saphir basically makes this face like aristocrats, am I right? Except, of course, much more bitter and angry, because, you know, fuck that Duke for not putting any guard down here. And saying, right, have you seen it? This creature that's affrighting everyone.
I haven't, but I've heard about the kind of damage it can do.
Who has and lived? I would have a description. This wouldn't be my first beast hunt.
Good luck on the hunt, then. You might want to try that guy up there.
All right, then.
Yeah, that's his name. That guy up there.
Oh, he's showing to a door, I think.
I know you've no reason to work with me, but until the street is safe again, I'll be staying at the Donkey's Kick. If you think of anything or need anything, come find me there.
Yeah, I'll take you up on that if I think of anything that will get me paid.
Well, you've seen my cloak, you know who I work for. We don't cheat to help us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to getting the information you need.
Whatever you can, while still keep breathing.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, that house up there with the porch with the chipped step on it. Yeah, that guy has seen one of the bodies.
All right, thank you. And I'll slip him some money, not enough to be insulting or to set up a scam, but enough for a good night's drinking. Because, like, this guy deserves a good night's drinking.
Some people would say a lot of people around Tuning's Fork do.
Yeah.
Others say no, they really don't.
Well, I think my character is realistic enough to understand, like, the way generational poverty kind of makes people behave. So he's not self-righteous about it. You know, he's just gonna like talk to people where they are. So I will go to that house and knock on the door.
Okay, and you go over to the house. You cross this deathly quiet street.
Mm-hmm.
And go over to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on the door.
Yes.
Actually, first, is that house got a light on?
It does have a light on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me in, let me in. There's a monster out here. Ah.
I knock on the door.
The door, you knock on the door.
Yeah.
After a minute or two, you probably knock on the door again.
Yes.
And then the door opens about an inch or so.
I will start by saying, you don't know me, and you've no reason to trust me. I'm here because I want to help.
I'm glad to hear that. Who are you?
Sophia. And then I will give a moment and I'll say, do you remember old Mom down the lane?
It's a little weird because he's only opened the door about 1 inch and just getting one eye out.
That's fine. And I'll say, do you remember old Magda? There used to be an inn down that way. Oh God, Eel's Bite. Used to work for her. Neighborhood's looking as good as ever. And I'll say that as like clearly it's not, but
yeah, yeah. I don't know who you think I am, but
you're someone who can help me. And I need to know whatever I can about these creatures, so that.
Hang on, creature. Maybe you better come inside. And he opens the door, and there is a fairly sizable blood smear on the floor.
Oh, shit.
Next to the body.
Mm.
The man opening the door is dressed largely in black.
Okay.
Now, I need you to tell me how much you know about the creature.
She has found an investigative.
You hope? I think we'll end it there.
I hope, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Cliffhanger.
She has either found an investigative and talked shitty about.
Is this going to be having to to find out about what's going on instead of maybe it's an accidental werewolf, or maybe it's just a hired guy who has a pair of clamps that look like a bite mark, or I don't know.
Well, we'll have a week to dwell on that now, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ah! All right.
Okay, we've set the situation up. Time to get things rolling downhill quickly next week.
Right over.
I'm excited.
Maybe.
It's a werewolf assassin.
Hey.
And I'm going to stop broadcast now.